Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. As you can see from the title of this video, we're going to be talking about a scene from season one where Melody's then financial advisor, he gave her some interesting, antiquated, old-fashioned, outdated, did not serve anyone type of advice. And we're going to break down this scene. So before we get into it, this is like going to be so important to all of us. I ask that you all please hit the like button on this video. Then YouTube will recommend this video to more people who enjoy all of the wonderful conversation that comes about from Love and Marriage Huntsville. That is one of the special, most unique things about the Love and Marriage Huntsville reality TV show is that because it is such a reflection of true life relationships, that it causes us to have conversation about it. Also, if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I would love to have you. And then turn on your notification bell so that you know whenever I upload new videos such as this. All right, so I want to go ahead and play this soundbite. It is just such an important thing for us to talk about. So I'm just going to play it now and then I'll come back with my commentary. Of course, everything that I say here is alleged and my opinion. And also the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on this soundbite is allowed. Let's get to it.
He advised me to seek my financial advisor and kind of see what my options are. Mr. Childress is definitely a very well-known person in the community. He has worked with Martell and I for years in terms of being our accountant. He's also been kind of like a mentor to both of us. So I also feel comfortable talking with him about the personal issues that we're going through to really get some good, solid, almost fatherly-like type advice. How are you doing, Mr. Childress?
So good to see you.
It's good to see you also, like always.
Yes.
I'm a little under the weather, just a little bit, so I'm gonna stay way back.
Well, you don't look under the weather. You look on top of the weather.
I wanted to talk to you about a few things.
Okay.
Share with you some things that I'm thinking about. You know, I always love to get your wisdom.
Mhm.
Here's where I am.
Mhm.
I'm considering getting a divorce.
No.
Yes, sir, I am.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How did that? You know how I feel about that.
Mr. Childress, don't be like that.
How far along are you?
Well, I've just had a consultation with an attorney.
Does Martell know that you've gone to see a lawyer?
No.
It's going to be interesting to see how that go down. You and Martell are building a dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how important that is to our community.
Well, it's important though when you're building the dynasty, you got to be on the same page. But I'm just at a place where I don't have time for any hiccups anymore in my life. I don't have time for any setbacks, And so I'm just really trying to weigh my options and see exactly what Melody wants to do. I would like to see it where we sell the properties that we have, pay off any joint debt, and then divide whatever profits.
So you're looking for a clean break.
Right. Yes, sir.
Well, let me be the first to tell you there's no such thing.
Really?
No.
Don't tell me that, Mr. Childress.
All of similar situations that I've experienced in the past, especially when there's a great deal of assets between the two. Between the spouses, there is always some complication.
Our home that we're in, we have a lot of equity in that. And so, I would like to see us sell that. Would that be something easy to do?
How long have you owned it?
About a year.
Well, I would advise you to put the divorce off for at least 12 more months.
12 months? That's a long time. I know he's giving me advice as the accountant. However, I'm really not feeling what Mr. Childress is saying right now. Like, ooh, no, and no.
I would advise you to put the divorce off for at least 12 more months.
Why?
Because if you sell it after 2 years of ownership, you can take a total of $500,000 in capital gain off the table.
I don't believe that divorcing a person or not should be based on what's in the best interest financially. At the end of the day, it will still be what Melody wants to do.
It's hard to give an advice, but I can say this. When it comes to a man being a man, we don't pay attention to details. You know, we don't say, I love you enough. Once we marry you, we tend to forget to do those things that got you there in the first place.
He does all those kinds of things.
He does?
He gives me flowers randomly and wants to call me all day and talk to me and FaceTime me. He does all of those things.
Take you out for lunch and dinner? Oh my. He's the father. Hard to get these days. I say you don't forget. I see enough there to suggest that you guys are a great couple together. I really wish you would give that some more thought. You can find a way to pretty much work through this. It would be better.
Mr. Childress, I thank you so much for your time today. I definitely feel that Mr. Childress' advice is the reason that so many in the older generation stayed in toxic marriages. For me, I'm at the point where being able to say that, yeah, we've been married 25 years, we've been married 35 years, we've been married 50 years, that does not matter to me anymore. What matters to me is, are you happy though? Or did you just stay in this marriage? So you can say you've been married 25, 35, 50 years and you stuck around for it. You got a whole nother family maybe, a whole nother kid over here somewhere, like, and you just been sticking it out. Well, we ain't doing that these days. We're not sticking it out. If you can't do right, we're dipping out.
Okay, so that was like such a loaded scene, loaded soundbite. So let's get into all of it. So when Melody met, kind of like on a preliminary level with a divorce attorney, the attorney recommended that she meet with her financial advisor to get their take on the situation. And I think that Melody was just expecting Mr. Childress to give her a visual of what the financial breakdown would be in a divorce. I don't think she came to him to say, sir, should I get divorced? But that was the route that he took in giving her quote unquote advice. But it led to an amazing, important, articulate confessional that Melody does about people sticking in toxic relationships. So we're going to get there. Let's be patient. Okay, so I'm going to go back to her meeting with her financial advisor. So Mr. Childress actually told Melody to reconsider. And I felt like when he was saying that, he was speaking from two perspectives: a sales perspective, SALES, like the business side of him, the money-making side of him. And of course, Mr. Childress was definitely speaking from a man's perspective. Now, with the sales perspective, with Mr. Childress being their accountant, he may have also been their tax preparer. Tax preparers, depending on how complex your finances are, like if you own a rental property, they have to itemize things. They could charge you several $100s to do your taxes, and then not to mention, if you're in a position, if you bring in six figures, sometimes they may even set you up where you end up owing the government. So, but if he's their tax preparer, he's getting that fee every year, then preparing their financial statements, he's charging for that. I think that he's thinking from a sales perspective, whoa, I don't want you all to get a divorce. That might affect me. Y'all might get divorced and then decide neither one of y'all want to do business with me. Or he may have realized from being their accountant that Melody was the brains behind their income, behind the success in their businesses. And he might have thought, if they get a divorce, she may move on from me and find another financial advisor. So I felt like when he was telling her to reconsider getting a divorce, that he was thinking about the sales and how it could affect him. Also, he was asking if she told Martell and how far along she was in the process. And that kind of made me a little uncomfortable because it's like she was speaking so from the heart. She was obviously honest. She said she hadn't told Martell. We don't know if when that scene ended and she left, if he picked up the phone and called Martell. I know we can't prove that, but that's a possible outcome, and then he wanted to know how far along she was, obviously to see if he could try and redirect her. Of course, we can all see to the future, right? And we know that she divorced him. She left him in, like, I think it was April 2020. And it's been on and popping ever since. Now, Mr. Childress also spoke to Melody from the male perspective, Male. Mr. Childress, he did not ask Melody explicitly if Martell ever cheated on her. What he did was he asked her about minor things that are not reasons enough to keep a Negro around when he disrespects you. He actually brought up to Melody, once we get y'all, once we marry y'all, we don't always think to tell you I love you. And then she said, he does that. He brings me flowers. And then Mr. Childress said, does he take you out on dates? Does he take you out to lunch or dinner? Melody said, yes, he does. But Mr. Childress, those are all minor in comparison to being cheated on, lied to, disrespected. And cheating can go so deep because you don't know if the person, they could bring something home in terms of an S, T, and a D. They could produce a baby. They could be affecting your finances. So whether or not somebody brings me flowers, tell me that they love me, or take me out on dates, that is nothing to whether or not they try to gaslight me, manipulate my mind, and cheat on me. So no, those are not reasons to stay. Absolutely not. And then Mr. Childress had the nerve to say that based upon her getting flowers, being told that he loves her, taking her out on dates, that she is doing good, and that those things are hard to come by these days. Mr. Childress, you got that wrong as well, sir, because meeting a man like Martell ain't hard to get these days. It is the easiest thing to achieve, okay? So he totally had it twisted. And Melody read the girls down when she said that, poor advice, like what Mr. Childress tried to give her, is what leads some women to stay in toxic relationships. Your most important relationship is the one that you have with yourself. And I want people to see that, marriage is not a requirement to live a peaceful, joyous, healthy life. You can be a family of one. I know that it sounds unconventional. I know that's not necessarily being taught in the church, but you can be your own family and you can enjoy yourself. And I'm talking way deeper than some bedroom candy, but taking yourself out, traveling yourself. It's not the end of the world. In fact, it can be quite fun. I love all sorts of movies. I can go see Marvel comic movies or the DC comics. That's Batman, Aquaman, and, people are there with their kids. I don't have to worry about that. That's not a bill that I have to pay. I don't have to pay for the kids' tickets and their concessions, just me. And, I also don't have to worry about having the kid that's crying and driving everyone nuts. I can enjoy myself, take myself out to dinner. And I'm not going to just put up with stuff to say that I'm in a relationship. Melody pointed that out in her confessional too. Some people stayed, and I think she said that some people stayed just so they could say that they've been married 20, 25, 30, 35 years. She said that wasn't important to her. And I also think, like, some women, they tell other women to stay. Perhaps some women think that they can't make it on their own, or other people, they put up with it. So they want you to suffer like that as well. And you have to get to a point where you can think independently and not give a fuck what people say or think about you. Do what makes you comfortable and happy. So I just totally felt like this scene was so significant. And I'm just so thankful to God that Melody thinks for herself. She's in her right mind and she loves herself, because when people tried to give her ill advice, she did not take it. When Kimmy tried to tell her that she was bougie, when they were in Destin, Florida, and Martell told Tisha and Marceau to come up, and Tisha said, "This is the melody we used to," the one that was with Martell. I'm just so glad that she can just see through the BS and do what is best for her and her children. And that is an inspiration to all of us. But you all let me know in the comments, what did you think about Mr. Childress's advice to her? And how it's really representative of a larger issue of people giving women bad relationship advice to put up with disrespect. I know that we sum it up to being pick me energy, being a pick me woman, but it is just the most disappointing thing ever. All right, y'all, I appreciate you watching this video. I ask that you please hit the like button on this video. Then YouTube will actually recommend this to more women who would enjoy this conversation, or they may on a serious level need to watch this video, need to hear these words. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I will talk with you all soon. Take care. Bye.